So we're back out here working on the dump trailer, doing some upgrades. And what I want to do is add some outriggers to the back of the trailer. So if I want to load a piece of equipment like a bobcat in the back of the trailer will have support and it won't be trying to lift the hitch off the truck. So what I've done is I cut out this side rail here along the rear cross member, and this piece of square tubing is going to go alongside there, and this piece will slide in the middle of them, and that'll be the outrigger. And I'm going to have a pin that will go through this tube and then through the frame of the dump trailer, and that's where the support's going to come from. So I got the tubes all cut to length. I'm going to clean up where they mount to the dump trailer, get them all cleaned up, get some holes drilled, and so on. So I got everything ground up where it's going to get welded. And I also notched out the top part of this pipe to clearance the state pocket. So the way this is going to go in here. It's going to be just like that. So weld all the way around there, weld down the bottom, and down here I have it marked. It's going to be a pin. Which I'm going to have to move up a little bit on this side to grab that handle there. And the next step is going to be to drill through and make some holes. Defeat broken drill bit. So we use the mag drill, the annular cutter, and I drilled a 1-inch hole in the end of the pipe to sit these bushings that I made up. So 1-inch OD with a 1/2-inch ID, and that 1/2 inch is for this pin that's going to ultimately go through and tie in that outrigger to the frame. So we got the hole drilled in the frame, it goes all the way through, and now the part of trying to line up this bushing into the hole and get the pin so it moves through that hole freely. So we got the bushing welded on this side, we just got to grind it flat. We'll finish welding up the other side of the bushing, and then we can put the outrigger in for the last time and get it welded into position, and then hopefully the pins still line up after that. And then we'll have to build some little pads to go on the bottom of the outrigger, and then do the other side. We get all clamped up, the pin goes in. Have to grind down the pin a little bit, and I think that's just because that pin is a little bit bigger than the 1/2-inch pin's a little bit bigger than a 1/2-inch drill bit for whatever reason. But we can now start to weld in place. All that primer is weld through primer, so I won't have to just weld right through that and be fine. I did that because it rained overnight, and it's gonna start raining again soon, so that way everything I cleaned up yesterday wouldn't get a whole bunch of surface rust all over it. I won't have another issue to deal with this morning. So we'll get this welded in place. So fast forward a couple days, we got this side, I'd say about 80% welded in place. I want to weld up more around this piece of C-channel, but it's in place, it works. I have the leg out of it for now, and just got done welding this one in place as well. Again, about 80% in. We'll weld the rest of it at some other point. And what I also got done is I cut out some gussets, and I also have some feet, you could call them, that I cut out as well. These are going to be for the bottom of the stabilizer bars, give it some good surface area. So we'll get that one out, and we'll use the other one as well, get it all square up on this plate, and weld in the gussets and the plate and all that. So I got the first leg all tacked up, got the plate, got the gussets, and I'll show you quickly how I laid that out. It's real quick. And what you're going to do is, I only have 2 hands, but if you go diagonal, mark a line diagonal the other way, like I have in that one, you can see the X. That'll give you your center point, and then off the center point, you can use your square, draw a line across your center point that way, and across that way, and then what you'll have is that the corners of your square tubing will line up on the diagonals, and you know that it'll be centered, and then your gussets will also line up on your paint marks, and you'll know that those are centered on your square tube and everything's centered and no measuring, no math. So we got them all welded up. The next step to do is going to be put them in with them all the way up and then mark the side where the hole's going to be for the up position, because we got the down position, so you just need the up position. So fast forward a couple weeks, thanks to YouTube magic, the minus paint and finish welding, the supports are done. They're there, they work. So got the pin on the plate, you can pull out the pin, and I have the hole at the bottom for the up position, this hole for that pin, and it leaves about an inch or so off the ground, so it'll account for if the ground is unlevel or such. And I ended up taking a 13 millimeter reamer, which comes out to like 0.51, so just a little bit larger than a ½ inch. Use the reamer to ream through all the holes, and now the pin goes in fairly smooth. Once everything's painted up, everything will get a good coat of grease on it so it doesn't lock up and keeps everything moving freely. But the outriggers are done. I'm planning on picking up a Bobcat next weekend with it, so that'll be a good test to see how they do.